I'm bigcal and welcome to my world. Quick note before we get into the video, I'm not on camera for this because, well, it's bloody hot in the UK right now, and setting up my big light and standing in front of it for a video would melt me. So I'm doing this entirely off camera with just my lovely voice. Okay, with that out of the way, let's get on to the video. Dragon Quest Day is almost here. Or, it is here? Time differences confuse me. Basically, May 27th every year is Dragon Quest Day in Japan, marking the release of the first game back in 1986. This year is celebrating 40 years of the series, and of course, everyone is expecting some huge news. To add to the speculation of what we might see, this image has been circulating on the internet for a couple of days now, showing 8 private videos on Square Enix's official Dragon Quest playlist. And so, I decided to make a video about what those 8 videos could be showing off. Normally with videos like this, I try to stay grounded, lower my expectations, be realistic. But you know what? Screw it. Today, I'm going to go all out, mostly, and predict some huge things. Now, for the most part, these things could very well happen at some point. I just think the more ridiculous part will be them all being announced at once. I'll start small with things that are pretty much 100% likely to happen, and then I'll ramp it up and just go crazy. Starting then with the first thing, and probably the least exciting thing, Dragon Quest XI Switch 2 Edition. It's received a rating in Taiwan, which typically means it is coming out at some point soon. While Dragon Quest XI is utterly fantastic and perhaps the best Dragon Quest game in my opinion, as an announcement, it is kind of boring as it's a game that has been around for around 9 years now across multiple platforms, so it isn't new or exciting anymore. I just really hope it isn't a lame game keycard release, but then again I just have such little faith when it comes to Switch 2 games being on a cartridge anymore. On to the second announcement now, and this one is both mega exciting and predictable as hell, which is why I'm getting it out of the way now. Dragon Quest XII. It has been all but confirmed by Yuji Horii himself that we will see something Dragon Quest XII related. It was first revealed 5 years ago, and since then, nothing. I fully expect a proper trailer to show off the world, the gameplay, and maybe even a glimpse of the villain. If we're lucky, a speculative release date, like just the year, which I would guess is 2027. Announcement number 3 then, Dragon Quest Builders 3. God, I want this game to happen so bad. People have been yelling that Pocopia is basically Dragon Quest Builders 3, and to those people, I yell right back, no it fucking isn't. Pocopia is missing a number of things from the Dragon Quest Builders games, with the most important part being Dragon Quest. Anywho, Dragon Quest Builders 2 is one of my absolute favourite games across all of Dragon Quest, and expanding upon that incredible game will make me extremely happy. Plus, the setting would be based on the mainline Dragon Quest III game, which is huge and has a ton of potential for a lot of cool things to happen with the story and environments. Please let this be announced. Announcements 4, 5 and 6 can all be lumped together as they will be remakes of Dragon Quest 4, 5 and 6. Just like we've seen with Dragon Quest 1, 2 and 3, it's time for 4, 5 and 6 to get the same treatment. They will be standalone releases, no bundling any of them together like 1 and 2, simply because they are all huge games individually. I'd have them use the DS versions as the base, as they have more content and party chat. Well, 4 didn't originally, there's a patch to get it, but yeah, that didn't release with party chat outside of Japan, but 5 and 6 did. And then, I think all 3 games have room for extra stuff too. So let's just go over what I think should be added to each of the games. Starting then with Dragon Quest IV, and while the DS version of the game added in an extra chapter at the end with Saro joining your team, Given the story of Dragon Quest Monsters The Dark Prince focuses entirely on Saro, I'd like to add a new chapter thrown into the middle of the game where you get to play as him as the bad guy, living out some of the story that the Monsters game gave us. Dragon Quest V, and again, another chapter can be thrown into the game with ease in my opinion, and this one should focus on your children. See, during Dragon Quest V, you and your children are turned to stone, and your children are left not knowing what happened to you or where you even are. So give us a chapter where you play as the children, levelling up, exploring the world and searching for you, all the while Sancho is helping you out. Dragon Quest VI then, and there are actually two things I'd like to see added to this. Another chapter, this time focusing on Terry, so we can see what the hell he's up to when he isn't around, and then perhaps the biggest thing, more story elements. Now, I won't go into detail about that as I will be reviewing Dragon Quest VI later in the year for Dragon Quest Tober 6, but yeah, the game needs more story beats along the way, so it doesn't feel like large chunks of the game are just happening, but rather there is a reason for it all. Okay, second to last announcement, the 7th announcement. And yeah, it's another remake. I know, but this one is different. I would like to see them remake Dragon Quest Monsters 1 and 2 and release them in English finally. Now, obviously, the original versions, way back on the Game Boy, were released in English. Since then, though, they have been remade on the PlayStation 1 in a package, including all of them. I say all because there are two versions of Monsters too. And then they were also remade individually on the 3DS. And of course, only released in Japan. Use the Dark Prince Monsters game as the base, and then just improve the visuals and performance, as hopefully there won't just be a Switch release, it'll be a Switch 2 and a PS5 and a PC, so they'll have more to work with, and we can get better performance out of them and visuals. Just do all that, but with Dragon Quest Monsters 1 and 2, and I'll be happy. Finally then, the 8th announcement. And this one is definitely one of the crazier ones that I've come up with. A brand new Dragon Quest spin-off that we've never had before. Dragon Quest Karting. Yep, a kart racer game featuring heroes, villains and monsters from the Dragon Quest series. Race through various locations across all of the games, such as Tantegel Castle, Erdrick's Hollow, and one of the many casinos. Weapon pickups in the game can do attacks like in the regular RPGs, such as Zap as an electric jack, Frizz can be a fireball thrown at your enemy, and then maybe even have the upgrade system that we've seen in various kart races over the years. I mainly remember it from the Lego kart racing game. Basically, you collect the same power-up multiple times on a track, and it turns into a more powerful version of that attack. So it would allow something like Frizz to become Frizz, and then even Frizzle. And there we have it. My 8 announcement predictions that are, well, like I said, not all entirely unlikely, except for that last one. I definitely don't think that's going to happen, sadly. But they are very unlikely to all be announced at the same time. Plus, there are still other ones that I could throw out there too, such as Dragon Quest X finally making it outside of Japan, a new Fortune/Boom Street game, Rocket Slime, Mystery Dungeon, Dragon Quest Heroes 3. There are just so many different things that Dragon Quest could give us. And honestly, it's been a blast just thinking about what could happen. But just remember though, this video was mostly just for fun. My own expectations are fairly low. Realistically, I expect Dragon Quest XI Switch 2 Edition, Dragon Quest 12 trailer, maybe a remake, and then something mobile phone related. If we do get some crazy reveals, I'll probably do a video about it after Dragon Quest Day has been and gone. I'm bigcal, thanks for watching, let me know down in the comments below what you would love to see announced, and I'll see you again next time.